Hello, everyone. I have a beautiful guest here today, my one-on-one client, Keira. She's working with me since 6 months one-on-one, and she will share with you her experience, how she break through, what was she facing, and she will share with you all the lessons that she got in the last 6 months. So beautiful, Keira, from Sydney. Would you like to share with us how you felt before you've been working with me? So, what was the reason? How did you feel? I remember you told me that there was like a guy that you wanted to keep and you felt frustrated. So, tell us more.
Thanks, Ellie. Um, yeah, 6 months ago, I started the coaching with you. I still remember at that time on our first call, I shared with you a lot about how I felt so insecure. Um, and I got triggers because of the man I was dating at the time. So it's not the first time I felt that way because I still remember at that time I always say that I feel so insecure about myself even though what I achieve, like a nice job, nice place, a lifestyle that I work so hard for, but at that time I still feel so less less than anyone like other than myself. So that is one of the reasons why I reached out for help and I got Ellie contact and then we start the journey
Mhm.
from there.
Yeah, and can you tell me more how you felt around men? So you told me that you felt a bit frustrated that the guy fizzled out and stuff like that.
Yes. The guy that I was dating at the time was the biggest reason why I came to LA because at that time I found him as a catch. He take all my checklist box that I set out for myself. And but at the same time, I didn't feel confident that I can keep him and make him love me. So that's why I want a love coach. Um, yeah, so at the time it's just like the men came to me that they had always the same pattern, like they came very strong at first that made me feel that they in love. But eventually when I kind of like pay attention back to them, they start fizzle out quickly and then one day just stop hearing from them at all, which is left me feel so much more insecure
Yeah.
about myself. Yeah.
And I'm sure so many women can relate to you. And I remember you were sharing with me how low effort, like he said it to be, right? Like texting you once per week or something, right?
Yeah, so it's just a few weeks later, like I was so disappointed with his behavior, and then I got so much more frustrated because he wasn't the man that met me a few weeks ago. And then he stopped communicating, and then he stopped showing that he wanted to try harder and everything like that.
Mhm. And I remember you tried to, like, you wished you could change his behavior to feel better, right?
At that time, actually, I wish I could be a better person. So
Oh,
I always blame myself, like I say, I wasn't good enough. That's why he didn't feel like hanging out with me anymore. That's I said something wrong that I didn't like make him feel happy or anything like that. So
hmm.
it was me like at that time.
Yeah, that's really sad though. Like the self-blame, right? Like some women, they blame the guy, like, oh, he's you so bad, you fizzle out, and someone blamed themselves. But it's always blame, and blame brings us to disempowerment. Blame gives away our personal power, right? Like we kind of lose ourselves when we blame others because we don't have any power anymore to feel good internally, right?
Mm.
So during the 6 months, we've done a lot. We've done a lot of past healing of the old pattern from childhood. We've done a lot of emotional mastery work, right? Foundation of relationships. And what we did a lot is that you have the ability now to feel good from inside, no matter if no matter if the guy is there or not, right? So can you tell us how you change, like how you feel now, and what kind of yeah, special skills do you got now?
um so at the moment, myself, the version of myself 6 months later, that I feel I am completely a different. Well, I'm still Kira, but I have a different mindset at the moment about relationship, not just with men, but with any other people around myself, like friends, family, colleagues. Um, it just feel like after the coaching with Ellie for 6 months, I kind of like understanding more about myself and starts building a relationship with myself instead of like focusing on asking the question, how can I be a better person for other people, and how can I keep them in my life by um knowing how to say the right thing all the time and how to accommodate their needs all the time. So at the moment, I've kind of like, I came to Ellie to find a solution to how to keep people in my life. But I think in the end, I kind of understand it now. Like, actually, the most important person in my life is myself. And I I am living the coaching with a much better relationship with myself more than ever. And it's a relationship where I feel so fulfilled, content, and it's kind of like similarly when you think you are in love with someone else, but this time is you are in love with yourself.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So you say you found yourself, you found your self-love, and you found the love of your life yourself, right?
Mm. It's amazing, right? You started something with a different intention and you got out of it with so much better thing, which you didn't like imagine that you could have it.
Yeah, and the most important part is that your internal energy shifted, right? Like it shifted from being frustrated and disappointed to being so empowered and confident, right? And
Yeah.
this isn't the end, right? Like this isn't the end. This is just a step in between. This is just a step in between. The next step for Kira's journey will be to allow more like overflowing cherry on top love from others, of course. But this is a really essential first step to attract healthy relationships, to attract healthy men that are a cherry on top. Because when you can be in love with yourself, when you can be in love with yourself and fall in love with yourself, you are a match for love. You are a match for healthiness. And if I was like a typical other coach who just showed you the tools and rules which do work and you would get the guy, it will you would never feel fulfilled from inside because it will always be in your brain, he is the source of my love and I have to have him in my life to feel love. But now it's different. Now you have yourself, and if he's there, it will be double love, double blessing, cherry on top love, and that is so juicy. So I'm so happy that you always trusted this process. You did the homeworks, you reached out, you were always doing your inner work and always following the steps. And one more thing, can you share with me one example how this affects your other relationship with your family? So, and with your friends, for example. I know one thing that you tried before to be a better person. You tried to, you know, be liked by the others and always trying to be perfect. But now, because you found the self-love, you're actually confident enough to say no to what doesn't work for you, right?
That's right, Ellie. That's a big shift that I been observing myself, like seeing her doing that, setting a boundary and being able to say no from love. So that's what I also been doing at work as well. Like saying no at work is much harder than saying no to your friend and family. Sometimes it's because you know that at work is where you get the money from to pay bills, right? So sometimes it's the most important thing at some point of time. But now I I am able to pause for a few seconds before someone asking for my help or for my decision whether in any matter relating to work, I am able to actually like calm down and really give it a very like good thought before I make my decision to go ahead or to say no. And when I'm able to say no, is actually I stop feeling guilty.
Mhm.
Actually, I shift into kind of like a better feeling, saying that I already assess the situation and I have enough information to make a no decision from here. And I start feeling good about that, setting the boundary and it's not a rejection. It's just like I say no because it's better for I know that it's better for myself and is eventually it would be better for the other person as well.
Absolutely, because when we don't say no, we feel resentful, and then no one is winning that. And yeah, so we basically fix the root causes of that, right? Like most of most of ladies know they should say no to what they don't want. They should set a standard. But why can they not set the boundary and standard? Because they didn't fix the root cause of everyone has a different root cause, like, right? Like some people just don't have the self-love. Some people are really, really insecure. And like the root cause for you is fixed. And that's why it's so easy now to set the boundary and standard without um without having trouble and bouncing back. Okay, thank you for sharing. And just one more question, that is, how did you enjoy my support in the 6 months? So, did you like that you had someone who you could talk to and you were able to reach out on Boxer on like the texting, voice message support. So, can you share with me how you liked it?
Mm. Actually, 6 months with you, Ellie, is the best 6 months. One of my best time ever. Is it's not just that I have you as my coach, but I kind of like feel like I have someone that I can go to. That many times that I have some questions that I will always know the answer. That if I ask my family, they will say, "Impossible, Keira. You just need to work harder, and that's it." But during the 6 months, I know that I have Ellie, I have a different answer. That the answer I know that she will say it's possible, Kira. You just need to do the inner work. Everything is possible, which is I love that statement. It feels like you are so powerful now. Like you know that everything you want is possible. It's so different from how the world told you before when you were a little girl, like saying you have to be happy with what you got for now. And if you want to have something else from that person, you just sometimes my family always say like, "Oh, Kira, you wanted too much. Um, we cannot afford that for you. So you better just go back to your room and stop thinking about it because it's not what you deserve." But now I had Ellie for 6 months and she had a totally different answer for me. And I deep down in my heart, I know that's the answer I always been searching for. So it's actually a relief. Like I know there's areas in myself I want to work on, and I found Ellie who say it's possible to get over it, Kira, which is the best statement ever I heard.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. So basically, beside of the work that we did, the one-on-one coaching, what you really, really enjoyed was to have someone with an open mindset helping you, not only telling that it's possible, but also showing you the way how you can like get there through the inner work, to the aligned action, um, stepping into this new reality of whatever you desire. And your reality changed a lot in the last 6 months, like definitely. And yet, for the first time, you are limitless. For the first time, you're powerful. For the first time, you go for what you desire. And I know how that is having a family who tells you it's not possible. But the truth is, it's your limit. I can do that, and you can too. And yeah, it's so. No, in my world, there is no settling. You are worthy of everything, and you get to get everywhere. Yeah, you wanna go. Okay. Anything else that you enjoyed throughout the process, throughout the 6 months?
Oh, I just want to thank you, Ellie, for all the support and the time that you spend with me. Even though sometimes I know I sound so lost at the time, but all thanks to you that you keep insisting that I have to do the work because it will pay off. And in the moments, I just trust your whatever you told me. Like you say, it will work. That's what I did. That's why I did it, even though I felt so like totally different. But in the end, I think I kind of like the trust that we've been built between each other. Like I feel it's really like you are someone that I can rely on, like emotionally, and where I can find the advice that's always work out and is always help me to align like with my desire. So I really appreciate that guidance from you. So with your coaching approach, I kind of feel like I am having a coach that to help me to achieve my dream, but instead of like a person that forced me to do or follow something blindly. And with all the like, for example, which I always heard before, is like when you're in dating, you're using the dating tool and then say something in a very standard or scripted way. But I really appreciate you that Ellie, you just know, I think you knew me more than I did. So you know which ways work for me and which word that need to be said, so I can just listen and trust you.
Oh, thank you so much too, my dear, for the trust. Yeah, for everyone. It was not easy in the beginning, right? So the first 2 months, there were no breakthroughs. You just put the seed into the ground and you just had to water it. And you're like, I have no breakthroughs. I have to do the inner work. I have to do the homework from Ellie. And I was like, keep doing the work. It's like a plane. It will take off. Don't worry. And it did take off, right? Like around, let's say 3 to 4 months, it took off and you had those breakthroughs, like really huge ones and complete shifts. And so, yeah, thank you also for your trust that you actually keep watering the little plant, although it didn't have any fruits yet. So this is the results, and yeah, it just doesn't happen overnight. And yes, that's the other part. Not only the dating relationship coach will give you the script and the tools, you can use them, of course, but I want you to be your authentic self, to live a free life, to be yourself and still have the love, still have the money, still have the friends success, but it gets to be authentic and yourself where you can just be yourself. And this is just like freeing you up while you have the success. And yes, like many times, many other coaches, they give you just a script. And I think, was it you or someone else telling me that they took a course where there was like scripts and how to do it and like only using the logics. But then it's like you're no longer authentic, right? Like you're no longer saying what you want to say. You're no longer authentic. You are just following some kind of script to get a guy. But no, we don't do that. Like I want you to be authentic. I want you to be alive, to feel like yourself, like saying whatever you want to say and still get the guy, still get the promotion and the money. And the authenticity comes from, here's the thing, emotional mastery. Because the reason is when you truly embody love inside, when you truly embody happiness, which comes from emotional mastery that we worked on a lot, then you can authentically call in those beautiful things and easily and even effortlessly because you just like become a perfect match for it. You don't have to like follow any other pathways, just have your own path, you become a match, and it's authentic because before you've been authentically frustrated and sad, right? And then you may be using some tools which wasn't pretty working. And now you're authentically full of love, full of groundiness, and you authentically can say just no or yes to people's behavior and treatment. And that's where the authenticness comes from the emotional mastery.
That's right, Ellie. Yeah.
Okay, dear. So thank you so much for sharing your story with you. Thank you so much for being so brave coming up here with your sharings. And yeah, and everybody else, if you desire also my support, if you desire my one-on-one coaching support, my email is in the description box. You can always feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, thanks for watching.